Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to turn a Twitch stream or YouTube stream into a simple and elegant TikTok. I do this for myself, so I stream on Twitch, so be sure to check it out at Grumpy Koala King. And then I take the highlights that I prefer and then I turn into simple TikToks. That way people on that platform can see some of my highlights as well. So without further ado, let's get into this. We're going to be taking a look at the Premiere Pro today. So that's what I use. It's my editing software of choice, and it is a little pricey, but I gotta say it's my favorite one that I ever used. So we're gonna be starting off with how to make a vertical sequence. It's pretty simple, so let's get right into it. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna see this little paper in the bottom left corner. Depending on how you format your editing software, it'll be along with your project files. If you click it, you'll see that there's a sequence option right there. You can ignore everything right here and go straight to settings. You're going to want to make sure you select the custom option. Everything else can almost stay the same depending on what your preferences are. It's set for 1. That's going to be the frame size. You'll notice that I already have it set up correctly for what I like to do, but normally for the horizontal you want it to be about 1080, and then for vertical you're going to want it to be about 1920. That way it is more tall than it is wide, and it'll be perfect for formatting on TikTok. It'll also be very high resolution, so if you're recording in 1920 by 1080, I also recommend doing this, so that way your viewers can see it in the highest possible resolution that's reasonable, because let's be honest, nobody really needs to see a 4K TikTok besides if you're a professional editor or videographer. So after changing this to 1080 and 1920, making sure it's custom, everything else can stay the same. If you're going to use this for multiple videos, which I'm assuming you will be sure to save it as a preset. You can name it anything you want, so we'll do TikTok from stream, and then maybe do vertical. For the description, we'll just call it the exact same thing and hit OK. Now, when it loads up, you'll see that it loads under here. We'll select it, and then you'll see that the sequence is vertical. This is exactly what we want. So what we can do now is we can drag one of our clips over onto the sequence. I already have one saved. It's from a YouTube video that I actually made from a stream, but that's just to make it short and simple. Now, when you drag it over, if you have always ask on, which I usually do as a safety precaution, you can see that it'll ask if you want to change your settings. You're going to say keep existing settings, or else it'll change it to the resolution of the video that you had or you're trying to edit. So now let me just mute the audio real quick, so that way when I'm playing it and editing it, you won't hear the video in the background. So let me just take a short clip from here. We have one near the beginning. Let's go with this right here, because we have some text on the screen that people can see. We will drag it right on over. Let's make it about 20 seconds. So let's grab right before this clip right here. That works. Doesn't need to be perfect for a tutorial video. Let's make it a little bit longer. And here is where the magic happens. As you'll see, you have a normal resolution video such as mine, so you can't really see everything. Now, here's what I do. I will first make this a little bit smaller so I can see everything that's on my screen. You'll see that I have the webcam right there on the left side, and then I have the video in the middle. So let's also, just to make it a little bit easier to see, let's drag this down. And then here is what we're going to do. We're going to duplicate this video layer by holding down the Option key on Mac and then just dragging it up. And then we'll drag it up one more time. And actually, let me just pull this up so you guys can see exactly what I did. It looks like I didn't drag it the second time. So press Option, drag it down. So we're going to have 3 layers of video that are exactly the same for now. So let's make this preview a little bit bigger again. And then each layer is going to have a different purpose. The top layer is going to be what you want them to see of your gameplay. So I play Valorant, so I don't need them to see the whole screen, just really the main part of it. So this is up to personal preference, but you can make it as big or as small as possible. I think right there is good, so you can see the guns without seeing the webcam on the left side. The second layer is going to be for the webcam. If you don't have this one, you can skip this step, but I have that on when I'm streaming. So what we can do is we can then drag it over, and we're going to want to hide this one real quick. So we're going to drag this over. We're going to scale it up a bunch, and then we're going to center it near the bottom. You can just do this by editing the position, getting it near the middle. Let's scale it up even a bit more. And then good. That looks pretty good to me. Now you might be wondering, oh, it's got a bunch of stuff around it. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to select this little option over here, go to the Effects tab, and what you're going to want to search for is the classic crop tool. Drag it onto the video, and then from there you'll see the options for cropping each one. We'll do this a little bit quickly. It won't be perfect, but then you can just drag exactly where you need it to go, so it just gets your webcam. Usually I take the time to have presets for my webcam, but right now, just for the sake of time, we won't do that. So bottom up right there. We'll make the right side 82. I can go a little bit more. Let's go 82.5. And then left side, let's go 2.4. Looks pretty good to me. So now you have the webcam at the bottom and the gameplay in the middle. Let's make that appear again. So we can actually probably make this a little bit lower for the webcam just so it's not blocking anything of the video. Or better yet, let's just raise up the top one to be a little higher. Now, we have everything we want the viewer to see. We have the video that we recorded or streamed, and then we have the webcam to show off our face. Now, the last thing is we have a lot of empty space in the background, and that is not very professional looking. So what we're going to do with the last and the bottom one, so what's behind everything, is we're going to scale it way up. Scale it so it covers the remaining part of the screen. So we'll look a little bit like this. You'll see how it's kind of similar, but just bigger. And then we're going to go to the Effects tab again, and we're going to search Blur. We're going to scroll down, and there's a lot of blur options, but the one that I prefer most is the Gaussian blur. What we're going to do is we're going to drag that onto this thing, onto the mapping, if I can actually click and drag properly for once. And you're going to see that it pops up under the Effects tab. And then you're just going to want to go this as much as you want. I prefer probably about 45%, and that gives a nice blur that you can still see what's happening without it being overwhelming and the same amount of clarity as the other portions of the video. So we'll go down back to the beginning of this, and we'll see what the final product looks like. So you'll see you have the main video showing. You have me and my beautiful face in the bottom of it. And then you can see in the background, it goes along with the main portion, what you want to see, what you want the viewer to see. And it overall looks pretty good. Along with this, you can add borders or however you want. But I think this is what I do for a quick editing. I can usually get this done in about 10 minutes, maybe even less if you include rendering time. And then with that, it's really easy to expand your platform and then have all your stream highlights also be on Twitch so you can grow on multiple platforms at once. Now, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're looking for rendering, I can do that as well in another video, but it should be simple. And I also don't want to get into that in case everyone has their own preferences on how to render the final product of their video. So if you have any more questions, though, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. I'll be sure to look at them and get back to you as soon as possible. Once again, everything I talked about in today's video, whether it's the specific steps or any links, I'll put that in the description below so all of you can be sure to check that out, as well as not have to watch the entire video again to know how to do a specific step. Hope you all enjoyed, and hope to see some of your clips on TikTok.